Is Captain America Civil War the greatest comic book movie of all time? Let's review it and then we'll talk. Last week I had the chance to go see Captain America Civil War at a super early screening because the movie wasn't out for another 3 weeks, and I was feeling completely amazing once I was sitting in my seat and I was like, hey, in a few minutes we're about to watch this movie. Now, for all of you who have not seen the movie, or if you're waiting to see the movie, or you're just waiting for reviews, I'm here to give you my honest review on Captain America Civil War. Before I get into this review, I just want to say this whole Batman vs. Superman, Captain America Civil War debate is stupid. End it right there. I will not be making comparisons to separate films. No comparisons for me. All of that being said, let's get right into this highly anticipated film from Marvel. Captain America Civil War picks up right after the events of Age of Ultron, where our heroes are now being questioned by governments all over the world whether they should be put on check or should be let loose because of all the damage they've been causing lately. It seems that the best way for them to be handled is for them to be working under the government. This of course doesn't fly well with some of the Avengers, which leads you into your whole Civil War where you have Team Cap and Team Iron Man. Iron Man is for this putting in check and having rules, regulations. Captain doesn't feel this way. He feels that the Avengers should be a separate entity of their own and should not do as other governments tell them to do. The main conflict begins here, and this is where the movie basically revolves around the whole time. But you also have a wild card in this. As we all know, the Winter Soldier is also in this movie, and that is another thing that is added to this already packed storyline. Now, when I say packed, I'm not saying in a bad way because it is really compressed and perfect in the way that it is all handled, and it was really brought well onto the live action big screen. Now, Captain America Civil War is loosely based on the Civil War comic book storyline. Now, it is a little bit different because it has to work for the live action and the MCU, but it works just fine, and I was actually really enjoying this storyline as I saw it progress on the big screen. Now that I told you what the movie's based upon, let's talk about the good and the bad about this movie. Let's start off, of course, with the good, and that is all of the Avengers. All of the Avengers were given the proper screen time in this movie, and although a lot of people were like, oh man, this is an Avengers 2.5, whatever. No, this is a Captain America storyline, plain and simple. It really revolves more around Captain America. You do have your other Avengers here and there, but they all add more into the story that is weaving with Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which I really did enjoy. And that's not to say that the Civil War storyline got sidelined at certain points. No, it was always present as the main focus of the film, but it was more centered around Captain America's character dealing with all these conflicts. Another big aspect about this film was the way it was directed, especially some of the action scenes in here and there. Although some of them, a lot of people felt they were a little bit jerky, at times I thought that it worked perfectly for the type of battle that was going on, because you had, as you all know, the Avengers are going to battle each other, as we've seen from that airport scene many times in the trailer. And when you jump from each person and group fighting, it was a different style and pace, which actually made it feel a lot better executed, because you saw how the different styles of these Avengers clashed against one another, and that was really awesome to see. One of my also all-time favorite parts about this film are the new characters that are introduced, which are Black Panther and also Spider-Man. Let's talk about Black Panther first, because that is the one I was most highly anticipated to see, because we've never seen a live-action Black Panther, and I was just like, are they going to do this right? And they absolutely did. They nailed it 100%. Chadwick Boseman plays Black Panther, and he nails it to the point, because he is absolutely Black Panther. When you see him in the suit, when you see him outside the suit, it is exactly how you would think that they would adapt the Black Panther on the big screen. Now, Black Panther is kind of like a sort of Batman in a sense, but not really. So we'll just leave it at that. But he is a lot different in his fighting style, because it's a lot more like martial artist type. As we've seen Batman in the past, he does have some martial arts type background to him, but more lately in the live action movies, we have seen him being more of a brawler. That is one of the key moments for Black Panther, though, is his introduction, because it really shines and you really get a sense of how this superhero operates, because he is basically deals a lot with fighting and whatnot. The claws are something you gotta look out for as well, because man oh man, dude, they show just how deadly those can be. But let's move on to the other new character we got in the MCU. Although we have seen Spider-Man be brought back into the limelight by Sony in the reboot for Andrew Garfield, and we also have seen him with Tobey Maguire playing him as well. This is the first time I truly believe we have a true Spider-Man and Peter Parker combo, where in the sense that Tobey played a really, really awesome Peter Parker, and Andrew Garfield played a really awesome Spider-Man, we have here Tom Holland, who is now playing the role of Spider-Man, playing both roles equally. And that was really what stood out for me the most from this actor. He really nailed it to the point. This is a Spider-Man from the 90s TV show. This is a Spider-Man from the comics. He is amazing. And let me tell you, Spider-Man does have some action in this movie. And when you see it, you're just like, so, Spider-Man film next year, huh? I am so ready for that. It is going to be insane. Tom Holland is the Spider-Man that we all needed, and he is the one we deserve. Of course, this wouldn't be a review if we don't talk about the bad from the movie that I believe was like, could have done a little better there. And let's just start off with some of the ways some of the characters were used in this movie. Especially one in particular, like, okay, why did you even have to bring them into this? It was just like, you just like completely wasted the character in a way. And that's how I felt about certain characters in this movie. And I saw, in a sense, why they had to go that route, but in another way, I was just like, well, you didn't even have to take that route at all. You could have chosen something else. And that's what really bothered me about this film, was some of the characters were really badly used. Or it was just like, yeah. Is Captain America Civil War the greatest comic book movie of all time? I truly believe so. I truly believe it is higher than the Avengers and the MCU. And as a comic book movie, I truly believe it is one of the greatest out there right now and has been done before. So I believe that this movie will set the bar for future superhero movies in the future. But anyways, if you have not seen Captain America Civil War, what are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below. If you've seen it at a screening or something like that, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. No spoilers, of course, because I will get to my spoiler-filled review once the movie is closer to premiering. But for now, I highly recommend you go see this movie in theaters. It is a 9.5 out of 10, almost completely perfect film. My favorite of all time at the moment. It is highly comparable for me to The Winter Soldier because that's my favorite comic book movie of all time. So it's right there. Super, super, super amazing. Anyways, as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more of these reviews, reactions, and news on all the things you need to know. And as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you check out the awesome artwork on the side. Go to the channel, subscribe. They are having a giveaway, giving away a Batman drawing. So you make sure you go ahead and go into that. But as always, I'll see you next time. Stay positive.